everyone, this is my review of American Horror Story Roanoke, Season 6, Episode 2, called Chapter 2. And basically what this episode is about is that more and more strange occurrences keep happening at the Miller's house. And as each night goes by, these events become more and more darker. And Lee invites her daughter to stay over at the house. And when Lee's daughter creates a new imaginary friend, this new imaginary friend reveals some secrets and a creepy message about what this imaginary friend plans to do to the household. And there is a bunch of secrets that are soon revealed about some of the past people that have owned the house. And this was a really great and sort of enjoyable episode to watch. It definitely is another episode that's more setting up for future events to come. But there was several parts in this episode that definitely did feel like the old horror movie kind of vibe to it, where the way that the scene was set up and how the camera angle was on the person, it just always constantly felt like at these moments that someone was going to pop up behind them and attack them, or something was going to happen to these people behind them that they couldn't see. Even when they were watching a film of the man who owned this house in the 90s, and he was talking about some of the events that went on in the house both while he was there and before he was there, just the way that the camera was set up on him, it really felt like something or someone was going to come up behind him and attack him. But throughout all these different feelings and all these different moments that was going to happen, it didn't, except for maybe one, I guess I could kind of qualify as that. And then the moment with Lee finally starting to see all these different occurrences and events herself, it was really creepy, and she probably got the worst of it out of everyone. And I'm very curious to know how Lee's husband was going to convince a judge to give him full custody of their daughter, just because of the fact that Lee now lives in a basically haunted house. How is that going to convince a judge to let him get full custody? I'm very curious to know how that thought process worked in his head. All the moments with Pigman in this episode were super creepy and super well done, that I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see more of how that story plot might play out. And I'm feeling kind of bad for the police officers in this town or neighborhood, for the fact of they don't really know how to help this family, because there isn't enough evidence to prove one way or another on what's going on here. But I also feel like, based on what the one videotape of the previous owner and some of the other stuff going on, that the police officers might know more about what's going on than they care to tell. It was a little weird in my mind at the beginning of this episode when they showed the, I guess, sacrifice to Pigman, and how they went about showing this kind of graphic scene and then didn't really talk about it again after that. It just kind of was a scene and then it was gone. So I wish we could have gone over a little bit more of that instead of going to the other Pigman sacrifice kind of thing that was shown later. And Flora in this episode, who's Lee's daughter, was really well done with how they constructed all her scenes, and her character was super well played out and great. And I enjoy the fact that with her they finally started to reveal some of the names of these spirits, one being Priscilla, I think it was. And just having these spirits and ghosts sort of start to get names and start to develop their characters in a bit, even though you haven't really met any of them yet. I kind of enjoyed that. And just overall, I really, really enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to see where this story is going to go. So, yeah, that's my review of American Horror Story Roanoke, Season 6, Episode 2, called Chapter 2. So, yeah. Bye!